Good evening, Ape Nation. Guys, what's going on? It is Sunday, January 2nd, 2022. And before the market opens tomorrow for the first time in the new year, I want to go over a couple dates with you guys, some things we should be looking forward to, and I'll look back at Q4 box office. We'll touch on a couple of those things really quickly just to get you up to date before we start the new week. And over the next couple of days, I'll break down each category individually and we'll go over them. Can ESPN
Cue the speeder.
This is the way.
So guys, if you clicked on this video because of the thumbnail talking about bag holding, I promise I will leave some time at the end of this video to get to that. I just want to touch on these things really quickly because they do have an immediate impact on where we could see price action go. So if you haven't heard yet, this is your first year in the market, the January effect. And this article from Forbes is talking about it in 2022. And basically what the article is talking about is the fact that normally, historically, we have seen in the past smaller cap stocks that have had maybe a poor performance the year before start off the year in a good way. And we saw that last year with GameStop and AMC. Now, in any given year, normally we'd be talking about NFL playoffs and maybe the amount of snow that you have on the ground in the town or state that you live in. But this year, there are a lot of outside factors that are having their effects felt across the market. Now, I have seen some people talking about the January effect, but I want to just throw a little caution to the wind because in this Forbes article, it says the more recent paper from 2015 argues that other factors impact small stock performance throughout the year and that liquidity and stock quality are important variables to control for. However, there is data, even with the suggested adjustments, does still show stronger returns in January for smaller stocks than for the other 11 months of the year, albeit the difference is less marked. They also note that the effect faded quite significantly in the 1980 to 2000 period, though it seems to have resurfaced more recently. Geez, I wonder why that is. The historical evidence shows there's a fair chance of such stocks outperforming in the first few days of 2022. Of course, the market is dynamic, so there's no guarantee. There have been plenty of years and even a few decades when the strategy has largely failed. Still, it is one market anomaly that seems to have a fair degree of historical and analytical weight behind it. And guys, I can't say one way or the other which way the market's going to go this first couple weeks, right? We have everything going on with Omicron right now around the country and mandates, people taking new positions of power who won elections back in November. We have the midterms coming up at end of this year. And so there are going to be a lot of dynamic forces at play here that are going to have different effects on the markets. There's also going to be some days that we need to start talking about. And let's get into those days right now for January of 2022. Okay, guys, so I just went to Market Watch and pulled up this week. So starting tomorrow, Monday, January 3rd, some of the economic reports and some of the times the Fed will be speaking. And it looks like we're going to get definitely job openings on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. And we are also going to have jobless claims, 8:30 Thursday, January 6th. And on Friday, January 7th, we're going to find out what the unemployment rate is right now. And if averagely our earnings gone up again. And hopefully we do see these numbers go up and unemployment go down. So that's what we got to look for this week. Now, we also got this weekend the box office numbers for Q4 of 2021. And I'm going to break these down in a video probably the next couple of days. But shout out to Spider-Man. They came home. They brought home the gold. They had just over 500 million in ticket sales domestically in the U.S. Venom came in number 2 with 212. And Eternals came in number 3 with just under $165 million for Q4. Now, from what I could find online, It seems to be a consensus that we are going to get Q4 earnings for AMC somewhere right around the last week in January, first week in February. If we just take a quick look when last year they came up, 2020 AMC. Now, this year, we didn't get AMC's Q4 earnings until March 10th of 2021. Not that they were anything to write home about, but it was kind of late. And as we can see on AMC's website, on Investor Relations, there is no date right now for the 2021 quarterly earnings. So we're just going to have to hold off and wait to see when we get that announcement of the exact date that it will be. Right now, that's just speculation purely. Okay. So let's talk about bag holding on AMC. After I had taken my position in AMC back in the late winter, it was probably around the beginning of spring that I started to see a lot of clickbait coming out. I mean, it was pouring into the community. Everybody had 100K videos, AMC to 500K. I don't know if you guys even remember, but there was Tom Z. I think one of my first videos I ever made was on his clickbait thumbnails. And I started this channel because, one, I had a vested interest in the stock. I have a background in doing journalism. And just in the first couple of weeks after I took my first position in AMC, I saw the mainstream media and how they were playing retail. And I also saw that there were a lot of people on YouTube playing retail. And that's why I started the Massalorian channel. And the rest is history. Now, always my biggest gripe with the clickbaiters was the 100K to 500K. Because whenever you're talking about a company reaching an evaluation of $51 trillion, and that number happens to be 25 times higher than the combined worth of two stocks like, let's say, Apple and Microsoft, or worth more than the entire royal family of Saudi Arabia, I think we start to stretch the truth a little bit at that point. And so why do I want to talk about bag holding with AMC? Well, just so you know, the actual definition of a bag holder, it's actually slang for an investor who holds onto poorly performing investments, hoping they will rebound when chances are they will not. There are psychological motivations behind bag holding behavior, namely investors tend to fixate on remedying losses more than focus on realizing gains. Bag holders tend to lose money by being the last owners of a failing investment. Now, here's what I want to say about bag holding in AMC. I do not believe that right now AMC is a poorly performing investment. Look, we're up 1,000 percentage points from where we were a year ago. I believe the fundamentals in AMC have been getting better, and I believe that ARON has done what he can to work with retail and the rest of this community to try to prop up the price of the stock and at least hold it at the position we're at right now. I don't think AMC is failing. I think the movies are going to do better this year with the 45-day window, but I really don't want to see anyone getting caught holding the bag, waiting out for prices of $100,000 to $500,000 per share. I never thought that was realistic, and I know there's a lot of people out there right now who still think we can get to that point. That, to me, is astonishing that people would think that, as the highest this stock has ever gone in its entirety of existence is $72 in pre-market on January 3rd. Guys, just remember, it wasn't even a year ago that we got into the $300 to $400 a share range for GME, and they took away retail's availability to buy the stock for the first time in the history of the market. Keep that in the back of your mind. Remember that. Gary Gensler has already used language in his GameStop report about volatility and halting certain stocks that get out of control. And guys, I always tell you, it's your money. You do what you want to do with it. It's just a word of caution. Be aware that these people are stingy. Nobody's going to want to pay when the bill comes due. And I don't want to see anyone losing after all this time in this play. I think everyone should have their plan ready. We are stepping into a new year. Have your exit strategy planned out. All right, guys, so coming back for the rest of this week, I'm going to break down the box office numbers. We'll go over, see if we can figure out what Q4 earnings are going to be, when the date will be. We'll talk about the float. I'm still working on that information, but it's hard to pin down an actual number while you're digging around, looking all over the place. But I'll come back with that information. You guys will have it as soon as I can get it. Thank you so much, guys, for everything. I hope you guys had a great Happy New Year. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.